But then I met David Crossley, and he asked me this question, this really awkward question, and he said, "Well, okay, so you're giving them the opportunity to read. How are you getting them to do it?" And I said, "I'm just making them do it." He said, "But how are you getting them to buy into it?" I said, "I'm not. I'm just telling them they have to do it." And he sort of said, "Then you need to do something different. How are you going to get them to buy in?" So I thought, well, I've done an assembly. I've told them they have to, and that will be. But that wasn't enough, and it didn't work. And some children were doing some quizzes, but a lot of them were still rolling their eyes and sort of, So I had to change the culture again. So back I went to assembly. I went back to an assembly, and this time I took them out of curriculum time to do this assembly. I didn't make it what you call a normal assembly that they might do in registration. So I designated that year 7 were going to come out of whatever lesson they were in, I don't know, Monday period 3, and they were going to come to a serious assembly. And it was about reading. And what I sort of delivered to them there was as many different rewards as I could think of to attach to reading: food, cake, book tokens, Kindle, certificates, form breakfast with hot chocolate, walking down to the library in town, which we did, reward points on the system, even stickers, letters home, literally anything. And I would say, if you load it with rewards, it doesn't really matter what those rewards are. They don't need to be expensive. That's why we couldn't make Accelerated Reader work, because the rewards that Accelerated Reader want you to buy, we couldn't afford them, and the kids were. So this became, most of it was done for nothing. It was done in-house, and walking down to the library in town was done for nothing. And then at the end of every term, I told them there will be a reward ceremony at the end of every term. So I tried to come up with as many different categories as possible. And again, that reward ceremony was done in a very, very serious manner. Not everybody cheering and whistling and clapping. It wasn't that at all. It had a real feeling of gravitas. We invited the head teacher. People came up and were handed certificates and handed rewards. The form group who won, read the most books, came out to the front. It was dealt with in a serious way, because we'd formalized it by not doing it on like the last day of term when they're in non-uniform, by not doing it in registration when they just expect to sit there half asleep listening to someone talk about behavior. We did it differently. We made it feel different. And that was the key. That was the thing that changed the culture, because we gave them a reason, if you like, something. What David said to me, well, what are they getting out of it that they can relate to? And really the answer was nothing they can relate to, because they can't see themselves at age 35. So I had to give them something that was tangible, that was fairly immediate, that was achievable, and that they could relate to. So I loaded it with rewards, and that was really the key to it.